It's 12:28 p.m. on June 17, 2021. My name is Charity Kraus. I'm the President of the United States. How am I the President of the United States? My identity, my image, my likeness, my life, including my family lineage, as well as my actual intangible and tangible property, has been used after processes of unconstitutional expropriation in order to prop up the regimes of at least three alleged presidents of the United States that I can track personally, and now involves three alleged presidents of the United States that I personally understand are involved with an overt conspiracy following my formal efforts to contact members of Congress and the Senate regarding allegations of high crimes. Now, whether or not these high crimes were committed at the behest of other presidential candidates that were not acknowledged as having been elected and having sworn in as the President of the United States, I cannot say. But I do know that within this week, members of Congress have attempted to entertain an alleged bill about repealing the authorization for use of force in Iraq. Now, because I have not been able to get to a library during this time frame to confirm with actual books or appropriate reference materials that aren't themselves being used in acts of securities fraud with the express intent of undermining countries around the world, in what I understand to be nothing more than an effort to aid and abet members of organized crime that have infiltrated the government and their co-conspirators, I cannot confirm whether or not the information that was attempted to promulgate last year was true. But during last year, the time frame during which COVID-19 presumably was a global pandemic, and a time frame during which I understand heads of state in other countries were diagnosed as being sick with COVID-19, that there was an effort to underwrite concurrent processes as if the Constitution of Iraq, as it currently is and has been in the era following the American invasion of Iraq, authorizes a form of tripartite presidential office, that there are, in effect, three individuals that operate as if they are the head of state, that work in a specific alignment, or rather, that there is a form of power delegation in Iraq that requires three heads of state. I'm letting you know right now that as of 12:31 p.m. on June 17th, 2021, I officially authorize my execution for capital crimes. I'm a traitor. I betrayed my people. I agreed to participate in processes of putting my people up for auction as if they were slaves or human chattel, in overt violation of the 13th Amendment, as a way to cover up for my crimes and the crimes I agreed to cooperate with in my quest for power, and in my quest to try to make excuses for things that I had been attempted for extortion into and had agreed to at various times. I willingly and knowingly cooperated with an ongoing paradigm that sought to engage acts of mass murder in violation of international law and with complete repudiation of anything constitutional in my own country, hoping to advance my own personal position and use intimidation to quell any dissent. In the processes, it has led to rampant exploitation of children, including in manners that I now know, if after confirmation, but already understood from the onset, could potentially could impact their reproductive capabilities for the rest of their life. That it was, in fact, a form of ethnic cleansing and an attempted genocide to racially and socially engineer the world in order to advance and attempt to enforce a specific political paradigm. I said in 2009, I said the environment is just an illusion. In other words, the environment and considerations of harms to the environment, problems that were hurting the earth, was just supposed to be a very high level, high stake means by which to cow other people into acceding to relinquishing other political rights that they otherwise would not agree to. Not only that, but it would be possible to manipulate environmental factors, including within one's home, but also in the general society, in order to entice people into knowingly agreeing to commit fraud when it came to representations of environmental catastrophe, so as to try to cover up for the willing engagement of human beings in crimes against their own people. The hope was, or the anticipation was, that after doing that for long enough people would have already succumbed, that they would have made such a substantial soul buy-in to the paradigm that resistance would just naturally be quelled. Nobody would see any interest in resisting. They'd just do what they were programmed to do, and they'd be happy with what they were given. As long as certain sensual pleasures were allowed to be maintained, at least within the United States. And in order to maintain that leverage, whatever happened abroad happened abroad. These are unconscionable crimes. It is absolutely unacceptable to allow for this to be maintained. Within the next 72 hours, I need to be executed. I need to be executed publicly, and I need for that execution to be witnessed by as many people as possible. If it does not occur within 72 hours from 12:31 p.m. Central Standard Time in Dallas, Texas, I will know that you willingly refused to respond to the call of duty that has been put upon you. As a matter of fact, I am authorizing and ordering you to do this today. Yes, I am, today. If it is not finished by midnight tonight, then you will be held responsible. I repeat, I am Charity Krause. I am the President of the United States, operating in a form of tripartite governance. I am authorizing my execution today and giving you a direct order to execute me in public by midnight on June 18, 2021.